attorney will be out of here quick today. Oh no. Bueno, por lo menos.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
It's not the same,
You
yeah.
can only do it like that.
Yeah, it's your piece. You just wanna.
Everybody was out.
No, ¿cómo está? Una sonrisa linda. Sí, pero yo me sabes que yo miré en Facebook y que me pusieron bravo. ¿Estás seguro que estoy supuesta a sentarme aquí hoy?
Oh my god, if you look at me and if I'm showing too much cleavage, because sometimes this moves down, just go like this and I'll know to fix it.
Hi. So this person right here is from your district. How appropriate is that, GLTS? So, Easton Street is where she lives.
Okay.
I don't know if she's here. I don't think she's here. I don't see anybody in the 18 to 19-year-old time frame here.
No, I don't see anyone.
So,
I had Teresa be on the lookout last time. And then you just signal me in. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Me and Teresa. Me and Teresa did it. Okay, I don't need this now. Why is this chair so low? This to be so low. Okay. Close it.
we'll be out of here 8:30 today. 8:30.
29.
8:30. 8:30.
Do you have Crown?
So the city attorney is here for, well,
Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, June 18th. It is currently 7:07 in the evening. Before we proceed, Council President Giovanni Rodriguez did ask me to let the councilors and the public know that he's sorry he couldn't be here tonight. He is at a conference learning about economic and workforce development. So he will be with us next time. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting will be hybrid, allowing participation both in person in the City Council chamber and remotely through our Zoom and also our Facebook and YouTube pages. At this point, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilor Levy? Present. Councilor LaPlante?
Present.
Councilor Luzon? Present. Councilor Del Rosario?
Present.
Councilor Santiago? Present. Councilor Marmol?
Present.
Councilor Reyes? Noted as absent. Council Vice President Infante?
Present.
And Council President Rodriguez is noted as absent.
Please join me in a moment of silence. And now in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilors, at this point, we do not have minutes for approval, so we're going right into public participation. Our first participant is Mr. Molly. Mr. Name and address for the record, please.
Volume 53 Chester Street. Good evening, honorable members. We, the citizens, are grateful to this honorable City Council and honorable Mayor Brian DePena for offering contract for our patrolman officers and superior officers. Lawrence Police, with the impeccable leadership by Honorable Chief Bonilla, doing excellent job to protect our citizens. Lawrence Police, one of the best police departments in the nation. We support Lawrence Police Union, Superior Officers Union. Lawrence Police, this union of pride and honor, thank you for excellent job. Lawrence is a beautiful city because of our hard-working DPW workers. We demand the best compensation for our DPW employees and leadership. Lawrence Inspection Department, thank you for excellent job. We support our Inspection Department employees union. We must hire more inspectors. We, the citizens, welcome the new superintendent of Lawrence Public School, Ralph Carrera. We support you. Lawrence teachers, you are number one. We wish you the best summer vacation. We are proud to support Lawrence Teachers Union. Thank you for best gift of education. Please bring food and donation for our homeless every Wednesday night to Buckley Garage. Lawrence always is strong. Lawrence always unite. We demand the best contract for our brave firefighters with 3% COLA raise and hazard pay. We pray for the safety of all Lawrence police officers endangering their lives. Lawrence Police, thank you for making Lawrence a safe city. We, the Laurentians, stand united in support of Lawrence Police Union. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Clerk, can you please call the roll for Councilor Reyes?
Councilor Reyes? Present.
Thank you. Our next speaker is former City Councilor Rich Russell. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, councilors. My name is Rich Russell, reside at 34 Cross Street. Several issues. First, on May 15th, the city clerk's office received a public record request from me asking a simple question as to who the nonprofit agency broadcasting the videos of the council meeting on TV are. 10 business days were over on May 30th. Here it is, June 18th, and I have had no response, positive and negative, from anyone in 200 Common Street. I will be pulling out my copy of the Secretary Galvin's public record request manual to find out what my alternatives are. Next, while going through the council agenda on a podcast, I noticed agenda item 46623 regarding the replacement of several monument plaques with the following note in parenthesis, anticipated monument revisions after July 1st, 2024 with the FY25 budget. This item was approved by the council on March 19th of this year. My question is, with all of the money being shifted around between budget accounts at the end of this budget year, why couldn't the money be found to redo the plaques now instead of being shuffled to the back of the store just like Rowell Park was treated? Now to get really serious. When is the city going to find a way to let citizens know what the schedule for grinding down and repaving these roadways are? Having worked around construction a little bit, I can understand the maximizing the use of equipment instead of constantly moving it out and bringing it back. When you allow paving contractors to totally screw up major roadways in the city at the same time, it makes me wonder, and makes me and others wonder how in the world these contractors were hired without having some restrictions on their grind and repave when they get to it attitude. Maybe if somebody in the brain trust in this building had half a brain in their head, they would offer at a discount rate to the commanding general of Aberdeen Proving Ground the use of our streets to test out Army tanks on. Thank you for the chance to address you, and like Congress people in Washington, I relinquish the rest of my time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Luis Robles. Name and address for the record, please.
Luis Robles, 183 Abbott Street. On June 5th, I composed an email to the council expressing my concern about his behavior. Specifically, I highlighted the persistent interruptions and the troubling public accusations of racism directed at my district. My message received no response from the council. Instead, he referred to my email during a public radio broadcast. Rather than acknowledging any missteps, he doubled down on the racist allegations and portrayed himself as the victim, claiming that he was the one being interrupted. Later, I followed up with another email on June 11th, attempting to engage in a reasonable dialogue. As expected, my efforts were met with silence once more. Not even a generic acknowledgement, such as a "thank you for your email" or "thank you for reaching out, but I disagree," was extended to me. This lack of responsiveness reveals a deficiency in humility and an inability to accept constructive criticism, a far cry from the qualities that one expects in a good leader. Within our council chambers, applause and signs are prohibited, yet the council has managed to desecrate the decorum with his behavior. His actions extend beyond mere disagreement. He publicly accused a colleague of racism on the public radio airways. When pressed for evidence to substantiate these claims, he deflects, directing us to the city clerk for research. However, expecting working-class individuals to spend hours sitting through documents is unrealistic and disrespectful of their time. The burden of proof is on the accuser, not on the defendant. It's disheartening to witness behavior that goes unchallenged, especially when it perpetuates fear and stifles open dialogue. Your observation about the silence from both Latinos and white people in the community highlights a complex dynamic, one where fear of being falsely accused, often outweighs the desire to advocate for what is right. But I don't care if they get falsely accused for anything. Imagine being falsely accused and yearning for someone, regardless of their background, to stand up for you. It's a powerful reminder of empathy and solidarity should transcend racial lines. As Latinos, we bear responsibility to accept each individual and treat everyone with respect. Our commitment to inclusivity extends beyond any specific group. Let's champion a new era, one where all voices are heard and where respect prevails. Let's commit to fostering constructive dialogue in the city council chambers and respectful debate when discussing important issues. Personal attacks only hinder progress and divide our community.
Thank you, Mr. Robles. That is your 2.5-minute mark. Thank you. At this point, I will submit this to the clerk for our records. Is he? No. Okay. Councilor LaPlante.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to see if in the audience today, if Michelle Mercado was in the audience right now. Is Michelle Mercado here through you, Madam President, Vice President? Thank you.
No. Okay. All right. We will continue with the agenda. Public hearings. First item is item 245-24, bond authorization loan order for appropriation in the amount of $13,415,000 for various water and sewer infrastructure rehabilitation, brought to us by our Water Commissioner, William Hale. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public notice into the record?
Madam, point of
Counsel.
parliamentary inquiry. Would this be the appropriate time to recuse myself?
Yes.
From this vote? I'm asked to be recused.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor LaPlante just recused himself for possible conflict of interest. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public notice?
Notice is hereby given that the Lawrence City Council will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024, at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, 200 Common Street, Lawrence, Mass., pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023 and in accordance with the recently revised City Council Rule 2. This meeting will be hybrid, allowing participation both in person and remotely to accommodate any participant with health considerations that prevents them from participating in person. Access codes for remote participation are available from the city clerk, eileen.bernal@cityoflawrence.com, or 978-620-3230. The meeting is also available on Facebook and YouTube. The purpose of the hearing is to gather testimony, information, and public input concerning the proposed water and sewer bonds, a loan order for the appropriation of the amount of $13,415,000 for the purpose of undertaking a variety of water and sewer infrastructure rehabilitation projects throughout the city. The proposed bond authorization is as follows. Ordered that $13,415,000 is appropriated for the purpose of financing various water and sewer capital improvement projects, including but not limited to the following projects. 1, the replacement and rehabilitation of existing sewers, manholes, and drains within the city's collection system. 2, sewer system evaluation surveys. 3, on-call and emergency construction services on water, sewer, and drain infrastructure. 4, design and construction of repairs to the Tower Hill tank. 5, design and/or construction of various other water, sewer, and drain system projects or repairs, and including the payment of costs incidental or related thereto, and including without limitation all costs thereof as defined under Mass General Law, Chapter 29, Section 1, that meet this appropriation. The treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow said amount under and pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 7(1), or Section 8, Sub 14, and/or General Law, Chapter 29, or pursuant to any other enabling authority, and to issue bonds or notes of the city thereof, that such bonds or notes shall be general obligations of the city unless the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, determines that they should be issued as a limited obligation and may be secured by local system revenues as defined under Mass General Law, Chapter 29, Section 1, that the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow all or a portion of such amounts from the Massachusetts Clean Water Trust, the trust established under Mass General Law, Chapter 29C, and in connection therewith to enter into a financing agreement and/or security agreement with the trust and otherwise contract with the trust and the Department of Environmental Protection with respect to such loan and for any federal or state aid available for the projects or for the financing thereof, that the mayor is authorized to enter into any agreements with the DEP to expend all funds available for the projects and to take any other action necessary or convenient to carry out the projects. Further ordered that the treasurer is authorized to file an application with the appropriate officials of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the Commonwealth, to qualify under Mass General Law, Chapter 44A of the General Laws, and any and all bonds of the city authorized to be borrowed pursuant to this loan order, and any other loans in any other loan order previously approved by the city, and to provide such information and execute such documents as such officials of the Commonwealth may require in connection therewith. Persons wishing to be heard shall be afforded the opportunity.
Okay, the public hearing is now open. Is there anyone wishing to be heard on this matter? Seeing none, councilors, any questions or comments?
Motion to approve?
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. The next public hearing, item 258-24, Hampshire Street, section to be designated for police department parking. Brought to us by myself, Council Vice President Infante. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public meeting notice?
I was hoping somebody might wait. the
Can I have a motion to waive the preamble?
So moved.
Motion made by Council Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Madam Clerk?
The purpose of the hearing is to gather testimony, information, and public input concerning the proposed amendment to the revised ordinances of the City of Lawrence to be further amended by the following new paragraphs to Section 10.36.355 of the Municipal Code, Police Department Parking, to be inserted in the proper alphabetical order. Hampshire Street, east side from a point 20 feet north of Common Street to a point 205 feet north of Common Street. Persons wishing to be heard shall be afforded the opportunity.
The public hearing is now open. Is there anyone wishing to be heard on this matter? Councilor Russell.
Good evening. I'm still Rich Russell, 34 Cross Street. The only question I have about this is, and I want to ask it about Lowell Street also, but that's watered down the drain. This parking restriction that's going to take place, is this going to be permanent, or is this going to be a temporary thing during the construction of the new police station and the destruction of the old police station? That's all I really want to know. Parking in downtown Lawrence is limited. I had to use some words, fancy words, limited at best. Taking these spaces away is really not a progressive move in my estimation. But that's what I really want to know. Permanent or temporary?
Thank you. We do have Detective Cuddy here with us this evening that may be able to answer this question for you.
Good evening, Madam Vice President, members of the council. Thomas Cuddy, Lawrence Police Department, 90 Lowell Street, Lawrence, Massachusetts. To answer Councilor Emeritus Russell's question that came up at the Committee on Ordinance chaired by former Council President LaPlante, and that issue did come up. This is only for the duration, which we hope will be quick, of the building of the new police station. To the point that Mr. Russell brought up, we monitored these spots for several weeks before actually months in the case of Hampshire Street, prior to making the request of you to approve this. And they were used very, very little during peak hours of the post office and Northern Essex Community College. I think once people had to pay for those spots through the city metering system, I think that curtailed the parking in those spots. Very few people have used Lowell Street since the kiosks were put in, so there'll be very little impact. And I think Councilor Del Rosario brought up in the committee meeting as well that if the public needs to park in these spots during business hours of the police department, no one's going to say, wait a minute, you're not a police official, but you're doing business in the police department, you'll be able to park there as well. So it should have very little impact to the residents of the city.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to be heard on this matter? Seeing none, the public hearing is now closed. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion. Councilor LaPlante.
So this came out of the committee with an amendment, and I just want to make sure the amendment is part of the motion as well. Can we confirm that that was part of the motion?
Can you repeat what the amendment?
Sure. So what we did on the there's two different items. On this particular item, we were allowing this parking to be continued until such time where there's further parking when the tear down of the building takes place and there's additional parking that does not require the need for these dedicated spaces. So there was a condition that was placed on that came from the committee, and I believe came as well at the full council level as part of the public hearing notice.
Madam Clerk, do we have that amendment as part of?
That definitely is not in the public hearing notice. It was amended on the Lowell Street one at the full council after the public hearing. But when we ordered the public hearing on this, that's not how it was published. Yeah, you can amend it now despite not being published that way, yeah.
Who made the motion? Madam
It was
Chair?
Councilor Del Rosario.
Would Mr. Councilor Del Rosario accept a friendly amendment to accept the amendment to allow this permit parking to be in effect until further parking is produced in that area?
I accept the amendment.
Madam Clerk, do you have? Perfect. Okay, so amendment has been accepted, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye, and the ayes have it. Okay, we're going right into committee. No communications from the mayor or city officials or city, actually, this might be a good time. So we actually do have, it's not on the agenda, but we do have some communication from our city attorney that I was just told about before the meeting started. I'm going to call Attorney Hooten to the podium.
Good evening, Council Vice President, members of the board. I'm actually going to address 3 items on your agenda and 1 item that you previously heard. And I just want to be specific that this came from the city attorney's office. If you look at 274 of 24,
274-24?
rescind the reimbursement requirement for creating a thriving Lawrence. And you also look on page 4, under new business, 299 of 24 and 301 of 24, which is also requesting rescind reimbursement requirements.
Okay. Yep.
It is the position of the city attorney that these are not correct. You cannot do this. What happened is that these went out as reimbursement awards. So Lawrence has one of the distinctions of having probably the most nonprofits of any city or town in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You send out what you're going to do with rules, and the rules are as follows. And you have to follow those rules if you want to get the loan, you want to receive this money. The rules were that this is reimbursable. So my nonprofit, who might have no money whatsoever, did not apply for these loans. Why? Because I don't have the money to spend up front to get reimbursed. So what you've done is you've told those people you cannot apply. Now, everybody that applied understood they had to pay their money up front and they would get reimbursed. Now what you're saying is we now have select few people that are remaining who now tell you, oh, we did apply to be reimbursed, but now we want the rules changed for us. You can't do it. You have to take this money, you have to go back, and if you want to make it non-reimbursable, you have to put out a new order to say, I have this amount of money, 100, 500, 700,000, to be used for this purpose. It is not going to be reimbursable, and I want you, that's the way I want it to proceed. You cannot pick and choose. You are selectively choosing people and changing the rules for these select people. That's not allowed.
Thank you. Give me 1 second, Councilor Del Rosario. Quick question for you, Attorney Hooten. For item 274-24, this item was brought to us by the Community Development Director. Was she informed by the administration or yourself about this before bringing this item to the council agenda?
It was never brought to me beforehand.
Okay, thank you. Councilors, Councilor Del Rosario.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. I also placed some items in there, and I placed it due to the fact.
Right, I addressed those.
Yes, and I placed it due to the fact that also those organizations did not have the money, but because we approved one, right, they felt entitled to be approved too. And I agree with what you're saying. What I don't agree is, and with all due respect, Attorney Hooten, is that you send partial email just to a couple of people here at the council saying what you're saying right now. None of us got the email. And it looks to me, and it's been looking to me with all due respect, You say one thing today as an attorney, and then the next day you said it's your personal opinion. So I'm just wondering, which way are we going? Are we going with your personal opinion today, or with the actually legal matters that you're saying is legally? And I heard you before, and I heard a lot of people before saying that while we were doing it, and that's why I did abstain on that vote on that day. Because I read what you sent to somebody here, one of the colleagues, but none of us, not all of us, got that email. And all of us should have got that email before my colleagues, whoever voted in favor or against it, would have read it and because it was your recommendation, your legal recommendation, I'm assuming.
That's correct.
And that was the decision making. Because I got the chance to read it, I abstained to that vote, right? But some of my colleagues did not receive it. So we need to be on the same page when it comes to legal matters. We cannot be having your personal opinions on one side and then your legal advice on the other. And that's why all those organizations, when they heard what they heard, they contact me. Or some of them contact me, some of them maybe contact the development director to try to get what he gets. And I think we should be all on the same page. Is it legal? Or it's a personal opinion when it comes to legal matters, and that's concerning right now.
So, just so you're aware, the other day in the mayor's office, there was a counselor present. I was brought, let's call it, on the carpet for that very reason that you're speaking. I made an assumption. It was an incorrect assumption. I presented it to the president of the city council. I made the assumption, which was wrong, that he would in fact share it with the board. He did not share it with the board. That's my apology. That's my fault. I should have given it to the whole board. Again, with many items, in due respect, my position has been to limit. I never want to embarrass anybody. I don't ever want to say you're doing the wrong thing in public. I prefer to do it in private. That's why I tried to do it through the city council. The mayor's office explicitly, council will tell you, for a very long time chastised me. It will never happen again. If I have any communication that needs to go to this council, it will go to each and every member of this council. It will not go to one particular council, even if it involves one particular council. I will make sure that the entire council is addressed. And I do apologize. You are correct. That's exactly what I did.
Yep.
And I do accept your apology, but when it comes to legal matters, we should not have personal opinions into legal matters. It should be legal matters and legal opinion. I mean, it's one thing that what I think and what is legal.
And that's why I did it in a memo form. Usually if it's a legal opinion or you're looking for, I tend to do it in writing so that you can see it. These items were addressed tonight. Again, I was, as I say, brought on the carpet and asked to appear here tonight so that, because I think some people misinterpreted the mayor's opposition to the one that passed. He was doing that as a result of my opinion, not my opinion, of my legal decision. And people assumed that it was the mayor that was opposed to it. It was not. It was the mayor, after conferring with me, telling him, I do not believe that is correct. I do not believe you can change the rules in the middle of this.
However,
Thank
you. You do understand Councilor Del Rosario's concern that although you're communicating with the mayor, you do have 9 councilors that did not the full council understood
I
what was
heard
going on. Perfect.
Councilor Reyes was present, and she will tell you that, believe me, I heard it over and over and over.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions for the attorney? Senior Advisor Spanner.
Council President, councilors, good evening. I appreciate this, the correction of our city attorney, but I would also like to say, because in the media, the mayor was portrayed as being taking decisions on his own without the respect of the city council. And that was something very, that was not appreciated by the administration, particularly the mayor. So that's one of the reasons why the discussion, we had a meeting with our city attorney, because the mayor was seen, and we received many calls, probably yourselves have received calls in terms of what's going to happen with the funds and with the grants. And that was not appreciated by the administration. So now the public knows, and we want to make it clear, that the mayor did the right thing. He followed the advice of the city attorney. It was brought to you, and also I made on behalf of the mayor, I wanted to make a suggestion that night to table the matter until you would have received the information, because I remember Councilor Mark LaPlante received the information, and unfortunately some of you didn't receive the document. But to rest this case, you know, and now the public knows that the mayor didn't make any decision other than what was recommended to him.
Council.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take this opportunity to address my colleagues, and I think this is a learning lesson for all of us. I ask that if any of you have received communications from the city attorney or the administration that will be helpful in decision-making processes for this board, I ask that you share it. That way we can all be on the same page, and moving forward, there won't be any confusion or anything. Although the message has been loud and clear, but I'm going to ask the same thing of this body. Thank you. Councilor Luzon.
I just want to make a comment in regards to what the advisor's panel just mentioned. So it took the administration months to figure it out that the money allocated for the other organization was not supposed to, that item was not supposed to the city council. It took months for you guys to figure that out. Since campaigning, we had the same discussion about the funds that were supposed to go to Federación Hispana de Comerciantes. So yes, Spanner, Advisor Spanner, the mayor knew what he was doing. He was denying the Federación Hispana de Comerciantes the money that was allocated to them based on other reasons, not the ones that you explained now. So it took the city attorney also months and weeks to figure it out that the city council was not supposed to approve that amount of money. Am I correct? How many months?
Advisor Spanner.
Advisor Spanner.
I would answer this question. It was upon request by several city council members that requested the mayor to present this case of the reimbursement back to the city council, as we should, because the money is not going to be transferred from one department to the other, which is an executive decision. But if it's going to be transferred from a department, I mean from a nonprofit allocated to a nonprofit organization and transferred to the city, to a city department, I believe at that time there was a request from the city councilors, particularly sponsored by Councilor Mark LaPlante at that time, and city councilor, which is now Senator Pavel Payano, to stipulate the condition that these funds would come back to, the item would come back before the city council and you would vote on it. And that's exactly what the mayor did. We went back and forth, and it's not false what the mayor stated. The mayor did, for the best interest, what was requested from him as the mayor to bring the item back before the city council, and that's exactly what they did.
How many months it took for the administration to figure it out that? That's my question.
It was not, it was based on recommendation, Councilor.
Based on recommendation at the end of the process. So you guys were dealing with this situation since the campaign. And I'm gonna put it out there, yes, because we had, me personally, as the president of Federación Hispana de Comerciantes, had different meetings with the mayor, speaking, going over the same issues. So it took the administration and the city attorney months to figure this out. And now we have a director, Director Pimentel, requesting money. So she's not even aware of this is saying, according to you, you use a term, well, I think you use a term that illegal or that we're not supposed to approve it. But we have now a city councilor and a director of a department requesting the same process for money allocated to other two different organizations. So it looks like that the administration is not paying attention, or they don't know what they're doing. And also, the attorney doesn't know what he's doing, because he keeps changing his mind. So for the people that are watching, the Payne administration took more than 8 or 9 months to figure it out that that money was not supposed to be sent to the city council. So just be clear on that, Advisor Spanner.
Thank you, Councilor Luzon. Councilor LaPlante?
Thank you. I just want to make sure that we're clear. I believe the city clerk sent us the letter prior to the vote that was referenced earlier this evening. So we all had a copy of that prior to our vote that evening. And I'm trying to go through my packet. I believe that we also had it as part of our packet. I'm kind of going through it right now while people are speaking, just to confirm that, but that's my belief that that was also part of the packet. So it was sent to us two different times. Thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you, Councilor
Madam
LaPlante. Attorney Houghton, what is your so we have an item under the Budget and Finance Committee, and we have 2 new business items. What is your recommendation, given the information that you're presenting us at the moment?
That they be removed from your calendar. So, just so we're clear, I have no problem with the money going to these organizations. If these organizations want to front the money, they will get the grants. That's the rules. I think they're wonderful organizations, they deserve the money. You just can't change the rules. And to address Councilor Luzon's, the first time I found out that they were changing the rules was the day I wrote my memo. I'm not privy to everything that happened in this city. City Council does many things that I don't review. The administration does many things I don't review. I don't look at everything. I can only look at what people presented to them. I was made aware of that. As a result of being made aware of that, I filed my memo. But I would recommend that all these matters be taken off, and that community development, again, put these matters out for a bid, unless these organizations somehow can front the money, in which case they're still entitled to it. That's how they applied for it, that they had the money to front and that they would get reimbursed.
Thank you. Advisor Spanner.
Vice Chair, it is in response. When we submitted, we published the Thriving Lawrence, creating a Thriving Lawrence grant. It was open to the public to apply. That was the process to use the ARPA funding. So it's incorrect to say that this administration didn't use it. It didn't follow process, or we were stalling purposely. It is incumbent upon both the administration as well as city councilors to be informed of all of this, because they are public information, and it's shared with you during whenever we address these issues. Now, this Thriving Lawrence program, Vice President, was something that initiated in the previous city council. So in my view, my personal view, if you know that there's a grant that's being used, it is your duty as a city councilor to also inform yourself of what the condition and requirements are from the program.
Thank you. My last comment before moving forward into the committee reports. I do want to say the first item that we had regarding this did come from you, Advisor Spanner. So there is a miscommunication between various stakeholders. So we want to make sure that we're all on the same page moving forward about items and identical items like this.
Madam Chair, I just want to correct.
Councilor LaPlante.
Thank you. So I did confirm on our June 4th packet, that letter was part of our materials that we received for that evening's vote. So we had it prior to the vote. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. And I know that the attorney's doing the best that he can to try to get information out. He did make a mention that he's going to change the process as far as getting information distributed. But I just want everybody to know that we all had the information prior to casting a vote on June 4th. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Councilor Luzon.
For the record, I just want the people that are watching, the people that are present, to know that the mayor chooses and picks what councilors should see certain communication. And I'm referring to that letter that they sent about the funds that the Federación Hispana de Comerciantes received.
Thank you,
Thank
Councilor,
you.
Councilor Luzon. Moving on, thank you. Is
One last comment.
Councilor Rosario.
Thank you, through you. And now that I have you at Attorney Hood, I had to call you to get that correspondence. Did I call you for it, right? I never got it in my pocket. I never got it. And the same way you said it, we were informed here in that meeting that the president of this city council actually received that email, and he did not share it with the people that did not get it. And I had it, and that's why I took the initiative to call you to get it. And I appreciate that you.
I agree with that.
And I appreciate that you sent it to me. Right, that day, we realized that 2 councilors in this board had the letter. And that's why I called you to try to get it, to see what was going on. And I was perpetrating in every social media, as I was against giving the people that do works, the commercials people, that I didn't want to give them money. And the decision that I made, abstaining on the vote, it was because your recommendation. And not because you gave it to me, and not because the mayor gave it to me, because I went out and got it.
Thank you, Councilor
Thank you.
Rosario. Thank you, Attorney Hoy. Moving forward, committee report, Budget and Finance Committee. I'm going to the Vice Chair, Councilor Marmol.
Through you, Madam Chair, item number 26424, transfer of funds of $530,000 from free cash to the fire department overtime account. This was reviewed by the Budget and Finance Committee and was voted it with a favorable recommendation and referred to this matter to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second by Councilor Rosario. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Councilor Marmol.
Second item is item number 26524, transfer of funds of $500,000 from free cash to special project account for child care scholarship programs. This was reviewed by Budget and Finance Committee and voted with a favorable recommendation and referred to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly second. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any noes? The ayes have it. Councilor Marmol?
Item number 26624, year-end transfers between departmental accounts. This was reviewed in the Budget and Finance Committee and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Councilor Marmol?
Item number 26724, reauthorization of Bellevue Cemetery revolving fund accounts, expenditure limit of $95,000. This item was reviewed under the Budget and Finance Committee and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made, properly second. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Councilor
Item
Marmol?
number 26824, the reauthorization of Council on Aging revolving fund account, expenditure limit of $150,000. This item was reviewed under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote took place with a favorable recommendation to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Properly seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Councilor Marmol?
Item number 26924, reauthorization of Recreation and Park Self-Supporting Service revolving fund account. This item was reviewed in the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote took place with a favorable recommendation to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Councilors, please make sure that your vote is heard of your microphones. Councilor Marmol, proceed.
Item number 27024, reauthorization of Veterans Memorial Stadium revolving fund account expenditure limit of $100,000. This item took place under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council was made. I submit that in the form of a motion.
A motion has been made, properly seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it.
Item number 27124, reauthorization of library programs revolving fund account expenditure limits of $50,000. This item took place under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote took place with a favorable recommendation to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Properly seconded. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it.
Item number 27224, reauthorization of PEG access and cable-related funds, revolving fund account appropriation in the amount of $357,000. This item took place under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council was made. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Properly seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. For the next, for item 273-24, reauthorization of DPW recycling revolving fund account, Councilor Del Rosario has recused himself for a conflict of interest. Councilor Marmol.
Item number 27324, the reauthorization of DPW recycling revolving fund account expenditure limit in the amount of $50,000. This item took place under the Budget and Finance Committee with a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Properly seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it.
Item number 27424, rescind reimbursement requirement for creating a thriving Lawrence funding awarded to Lawtown Boxing. This item took place under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council was made. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Second. Discussion. Councilor Del Rosario.
Question, Madam Chair, what are we doing with this item after the city
so-
attorney was here and recommended for us not to vote on it?
So considering what we just heard from the city attorney, it would be in the best interest of the city council to withdraw this item. So Councilor Marmol, do you you accept? Yeah. Can you yes, thank you.
Okay. I'm submitting the form of a motion to withdraw
Yep.
Withdraw item number 274-24, which is the rescind reimbursement requirement for creating a thriving Lawrence funding awarded to Lawtown Boxing.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Councilor Marmol? Oh, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Marmol?
Yes.
Councilor Santiago? Yes. Councilor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Councilor Luzon? Councilor LaPlante?
Yes.
Councilor Levy?
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent.
What is the count?
7.
Motion carries. Councilor Marmol?
Okay. Item number 27524, authorization to expend grant funds in the amount of $79,500 for fiscal year '24. PSN grant awarded from EOPSS. This item was reviewed under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council was made. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Councilor Marmol?
Item number 27624, authorization to expend grant funds in the amount of $273,602.75 for fiscal year '24, State Traffic Safety Information Improvement Grant Award from EOPSS. This item took place under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council was made. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Council Marmo?
Item number 291-24, authorization to transfer $40,080.36 from retained revenues. This item took place under the Budget and Finance Committee, and a vote with a favorable recommendation to the full council was made. I submit that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion?
Discussion.
Councilor LaPlante.
I'm going to be supporting this, and I also just, this is probably the right time to say this, that there was an unfortunate accident that took place at the airport where a pilot who was 80 years old lost his life in the river and trying, I think, probably landing or at some operations. And I know the director wanted to be here but wasn't here this evening, and I'm going to support this, but there wasn't a good time to actually bring this up, but I just want to make sure that we're all aware of that. It is airport related, and our thoughts and prayers are going out to the family. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor LaPlante. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. We don't have anything from the Housing Committee. We're going to Ordinance Committee. Councilor LaPlante.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Document 1524, the Ordinance Committee sent this up. This is a handicap park in the 209 Bailey Street. It sends it up to the full council with a recommendation to order a public hearing. Make that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made and seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Councilor LaPlante.
Doc 1624 is handicap parking at 108 Lexington Street. City Ordinance Committee met and sent this up to the full council to order a public hearing. Make that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Document 1724 is handicap parking at 8 Hemlock Street. This was sent up to the full council to withdraw, and I make that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Document 3324 is handicap parking at 205 Abbott Street. This was sent up to the full council with a recommendation to order a public hearing. Make that as a motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Document 21124 is a stop sign on Newberry Street on the corner of Elm. That was sent up to the full council to order a public hearing. That's the motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Document 21524 is 15-minute parking at 271 Lawrence Street near the Castillo Food Market. That was sent up to the full council to order a public hearing, and that's the motion.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
22624 is handicap parking at 129 Brookville Street. That was sent up to the full council to order a public hearing, and that's the motion.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Document 22824 is handicap parking at 57 Sargent Street. That was sent up to the full council to order a public hearing, and that's the motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Please make sure to press your your buttons when voting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Councilor LaPlante.
23224, no parking, Lansdowne Street, east side, sent up to the full council to order a public hearing. That's the motion.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it.
23323, no parking at Blakemore Court, both sides. That was sent up to the full council to order a public hearing. That's the motion.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
23524, stop sign on Osgood Street, northbound and southbound at Bailey Street. This was sent up to the full council to order a public hearing. That's the motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Document 27724, creation of a child care parking ordinance, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. That was sent up to the full council with the recommendation to order a public hearing. That's the motion.
Motion
Second.
has been made, seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
The ordinance, the 28024 evangelization event, July 27, 2024, from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Campanion Common was sent out to the full council for approval. Make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
28124 birthday party, July 20th, 2024, from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at help me with this. Reviviendo Playground, sent up to the full council with a favorable recommendation. Make that in the form of a motion.
Motion has been made, properly seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
28024, it's August 10th, 2024, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Campanion Common, sends up to the full council with a favorable recommendation. That's a motion.
Motion has been made,
Second.
seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Discussion? Madam Clerk.
We did receive correspondence from
Sorry.
the,
My bad. I'm
Councilor
withdrawing,
LaPlante.
I'm withdrawing that motion. That was, the council met, the committee met to send us up to withdraw and make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
The next document is 28524 basketball tournament, June 29th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in O'Connell Park. That was sent up as a committee report. Make that in the form of a motion.
second.
Motion has been made,
Discussion.
properly seconded by Councilor Santiago, I believe. Discussion, Councilor LaPlante.
Thank you. So this was an item that the committee had before us, and that the applicant wanted to change the dates on that, and we needed to make sure that that the Recreation Department had clearance. There was no conflicts on that date. So your name again, sir? I'm through you, Madam Chair. Your
My
name?
name is Gerald August. and,
Great.
I went to the committee
Yep.
on Lawrence Recreation, and they approved me for August 17th and August 18th.
August 17th and August 18th.
Yeah, so August 17th will be for the boys basketball tournament, and August 18th will be for the girls basketball tournament. So
Do you have a receipt or that in writing that you can send to the council?
they gave me a paperwork, but I grabbed the wrong one. Yeah, I grabbed the wrong one, the first one that I got. So I don't know how I could bring it back to you guys, but
You can submit it to the city clerk, and she'll email it to all of us.
okay.
But you do have it, correct?
Yeah, I do have it, but
Okay.
she also did say that she sent it to you guys too. I don't know if you guys, anyone of you guys got it.
Council-
That day that
I
I
don't
signed
recall
it.
seeing it.
Councilor
But look,
LaPlante.
I'd just like to amend the motion to make it conditioned on the submitting the documents, approving it, of course, submitting the documents to the city clerk.
Second.
Okay.
Okay. Motion has been made with the amendment properly seconded by Councilor Luzon. Any further discussion?
You, Madam Chair.
Councilor Del Rosario.
I mean, the clerk, it's the one that actually will give the permit. So, I mean, if we approve it now, if he doesn't bring those or we don't get it, it's up to the clerk to actually
Of course.
sign the permit. So make sure that you bring those paperwork
Perfect.
back.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
just come to the city clerk, bring the paperwork, and that's it. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Councilor LaPlante?
28624 evangelization event, July 19th and 20th, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Campanion Common. This was sent up to the full council to approve. Make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it.
Document 28724 salsa event, July 20th and August 10th, from 4 to 10 p.m. at the Campanion Common, was sent up to the full council to withdraw. And make that in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion has been made, seconded by Councilor Del Rosario. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. We now have the Personnel Committee. I'm looking to the Vice Chair of the Personnel, Councilor Luzon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 289-24, extend 90 days appointment of Acting Police Chief Melix Bonilla. It was sent to the full committee with a favorable recommendation, and I would like to submit that in a form of motion.
A motion has been made. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion?
Discussion.
Councilor LaPlante.
So back in 2015, when this ordinance was created, this is exactly what was supposed to happen. So I want to applaud the administration, I want to applaud the personnel director and all those who are involved in this for actually doing this the right way. This is precisely what's supposed to happen. And so I'm glad that we're following the ordinances on this. I think this is a breakthrough. So that's all I wanted to say, and I'm supporting this, I'm supporting the 90-day extension.
To add, Councilor LaPlante, the council did approve to eliminate the provisional definition, which helps the administration know what to do. So thank you. We do have the provisional chief here, and I would like to give him the opportunity to say anything if he wishes. Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity to inviting me here today. Thank you for your vote. So I have another 90 days. Hopefully in those 90 days, we have a new chief. And thank you again. I don't know what to say. I'm grateful for your vote.
Thank you. Councilors, any further questions or comments?
Madam
Councilor
Chair,
Luzon.
just a comment. I would like to see more officers present in the community, in events, community events. And I know there's an issue with the officers that you have available. But we met and we talked about that, but hopefully like now in the next 90 days, if we can have more community, more officers present in community events, especially when neighborhoods and fairs, it will be nice, especially this, now that this idea of lack of public safety. So it will be nice to see the presence of the police department in community events.
Thank you, Councilor Luzon. Any other further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Thank you, Provisional Chief. Moving on to old business. We don't have any. We do not have a report from the Public Safety nor the Committee of the Whole. Old business, item 142-24. Preach the Word of God, various parks and locations between May 11th, 2024 through September 28th, 2024, brought to us by Abner Merced,
Madam Chair.
Councilor Reyes. We are on page 3. We're on old business.
You know what? There's a revised agenda, and you have the regular agenda. I apologize.
Oh, sorry, my agenda's not updated. Where is?
Yours is updated, this is not. The
Oh.
one on the binder isn't updated. It's,
Okay. Sorry, so ignore that and go to old business. Item 142-24, preach the word of God, various parks and locations. It's page 3, councilors. Madam Clerk.
I want to apologize. This is a reconsideration of a motion that you already approved previously back in May, but they had several dates of preaching. They're asking to add one additional date to their preaching. It was added on basically as a late filing, but because it's a motion for reconsideration, it should, normally when that happens, I leave the package on your desk, and that did not happen with this item tonight, and I apologize. But that's why it's not, it is on the revised agenda that went out citywide. It's not on the one in your packet, so I apologize. The gentleman is here.
Okay.
The additional date that he's asking for is to have July 20th added to his dates that he can preach, and that date was approved by the Recreation Department.
Thank you. Okay, councilors, we do need We need to vote to suspend the rules and reconsider this item. This item requires 6 votes. So if I can have a motion to suspend rule number, I forget the number. What is it? Rule number, just give me 1 second. Is it rule 6? I believe rule 6.
Rule 6 is the one that requires it to go to committee, which we're not waiting.
Which is what, yep.
You're suspending Rule 20 because Rule 20
20.
requires you to reconsider it that night, and you're suspending it to allow it to be reconsidered at a later date. So
Okay.
suspending Rule 20.
Can I have a motion to suspend Rule 20 to reconsider this item? So moved. Motion has been made by Councilor Reyes. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilor Levy.
Yes.
Councilor LaPlante.
Yes.
Councilor Luzon.
Yes.
Councilor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Councilor Santiago. Yes. Councilor Mamo.
Yes.
Councilor Reyes.
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante.
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent. 8 votes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Motion to approve?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, motion to approve. Can I have a motion to approve? Is that you? Councilor Del Rosario made the motion, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion. Councilor LaPlante.
Clerk, did you have the Recreation Department sign off on this? We're good, thank you.
This, thank you. Any, Councilor Levy?
Thank you, Council President. My only question is that the location start from 5/11 to 9/28. Did they already started doing this?
Council, this document is an older document that this body has already approved prior to them
Yes, I
starting.
know that it was
Yeah.
approved, but
Yeah.
because we
So-
are taking about again.
So we're just adding one more date. They had several dates on there, so we're just adding on one more date. So before the May 11th date, we had already approved, or you had already approved this, and he's just asking for the,
So they are adding right now July the 20th.
yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll. This needs 5 votes.
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Mamo?
Yes.
Councilor Santiago? Yes. Councilor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Councilor Luzon?
Yes.
Councilor LaPlante?
Yes.
Councilor Levy?
Yes.
Councilor Infante?
Yes.
And Council President is noted as absent.
All right, item 249-24, soccer tournament for June 15th, 2024, Burgoyne Park on West Street, Ivan Coulé, what's his last name? Coulé? Coulé, Kaz, which was previously withdrawn, is now requesting an event date is now requesting an event date for July 27, 2024. This date has already been approved by the rec department. We do need 6 votes to suspend our rule and reconsider the item. Can I have a motion to suspend Rule 20?
Second.
Motion has been made by Councilor Marmo, seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Oh,
Aye.
roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Councilor Levy?
Yes.
Councilor LaPlante?
Yes.
Councilor Luzon? Yes. Councilor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Councilor Santiago? Yes. Councilor Mamo?
Yes.
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent.
Motion carries. Can I have a vote to approve?
Motion to approve?
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by
Discussion.
Councilor Santiago. Discussion, Councilor LaPlante.
Thank you. Same question I've been asking all night. Does the clerk have the okay from the Recreation Department on this?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? Seeing none, and this requires, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Mamo?
Yes.
Councilor Santiago? Yes. Councilor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Councilor Luzon? Yes. Councilor LaPlante?
Yes.
Councilor Levy?
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Council President noted as absent.
Motion carries. Councilors, is there anything under tabled matters that you wish to untable? Seeing none, we're going to new business. Okay.
Oh, the very last item on new business.
And this. Councilors, we have an item to add to the agenda. We have an item to add to the agenda, item 316-24, the authorization to expend grant funds in the amount of $392,000, $802.65 from the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation. This is related to the rail trail expenses brought to us by our land use planner, Mr. McCarthy. This is a late file and requires 6 votes to be added to the agenda as an emergency for the convenience of the public. So if I can have a motion to add this to the
So
agenda.
moved.
Motion has been made by Councilor Marmol, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilor Levy.
Yes.
Councilor LaPlante.
Yes.
Councilor Luzon.
Yes.
Councilor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Councilor Santiago.
Yes.
Councilor Marmol.
Yes.
Councilor Reyes.
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante.
Yes.
The council president is noted as absent. Motion carries.
Motion carries, and now this will be referred to the Budget and Finance Committee. All right, back to the top. Item 294-24, approve appointment of Edinson E. Mercedes to the licensing board. Term expires May 31st of 2030, brought to us by Mayor DePena. Can I have, councilors, I forward you all a email sent to us by Attorney Hooten. I reached out to him Friday evening after reviewing the city council agenda, and he did confirm because Mr. Mercedes is an elected official, he cannot serve on multiple boards for the city council. So at this point, I am looking for a vote to withdraw.
Motion to withdraw.
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Item 293-24, to approve the appointment of Frederick J. Diaz to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Term expires January 2026, brought to us by Mayor DePena. This will go to the Personnel Committee. Item 294-24, approval for the appointment of Michael J. Abasada to the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring January 2026, brought to us by Mayor DePena. That's going to go to the Personnel Committee. 295-24, appointment of Enelolina Tavera to the Planning Board with the term expiring January 1st of 2027, brought to us by Mayor DePena. This is going to the Personnel Committee. Item 296-24, approve the appointment of Gabriela Taveras to the Planning Board with a term expiring January 1st of 2027, brought to us by Mayor DePena. This is going to the Personnel Committee. 297-24, declare property surplus 389 Water Street, map 204, lot 22, brought to us by Clarinet Pasquale, asset man officer, going to the Housing Committee. Item 298-24, the acceptance of street layout plan for Amesbury and Lawrence Street area for Amesbury Street two-way redevelopment project, brought to us by our land use planner, Mr. McCarthy, going to the Housing Committee. Item 229-24, can I have a motion to withdraw item 229-24, rescind reimbursement requirement for creating Thrive in Lawrence funding in the amount of $15,000?
Motion to withdraw.
Motion has been made by
It's the
Council Levy.
not 298.
Oh, 299-24. Motion has been made by Councilor Marmol, who seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have, roll call, Madam Clerk. please.
Councilor Levy?
Yes.
Councilor LaPlante?
Yes.
Councilor Luzon?
Stay.
Councilor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Councilor Santiago?
Yes.
Councilor Marmo?
Yes.
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent.
Okay. Item 300-24, acceptance of gift from Charles Daher and Commonwealth Motors forcible entry prop in the amount of $8,605 value for the fire department, brought to us by the fire chief. This will be going to the Budget and Finance Committee. Can I have a motion to withdraw item 301-24, rescind the reimbursement? Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilor Reyes?
Yes.
Councilor Marmo?
Yes.
Councilor Santiago? Yes. Councilor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Councilor Luzon? Councilor LaPlante?
Yes.
Councilor Levy?
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent.
Item 303-24, the transfer in the amount of $511,100 of ARPA funds to first-time home buyer program from various accounts, brought to us by Senior Advisor Spanner, going to the Budget and Finance Committee. Item 304-24, the authorization to expend grant funds in the amount of $250,000 for Community Compact Municipal Fiber Grants, brought to us by our IT Director Castillo, going to the Budget and Finance Committee. What three? Oh, thank you. So I did this one. 302-24, authorization to expend grant funds in the amount of $79,996.70 for Commonwealth Transportation Infrastructure Enhancement Trust Fund, brought to us by our DPW Director, going to the Budget and Finance Committee. I did that one, okay. Item 304-24, authorization to expend grant funds in the amount of $250,000 for the Community Compact Municipal Fiber Grant, brought to us by our IT Director, going to the Budget and Finance Committee. Item 304-24, Lynch Street Traffic Study Request, modify parking or make one-way, brought to us by our Council President, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 306-24, removal of handicapped parking space at 32 Lawrence Street, brought to us by Porfirio Melendez, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 307-24, handicap parking at 177 through 179 Bailey Street, brought to us by Councilor LaPlante, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 308-24, Magnolia Street one-way, brought to us by Councilor Del Rosario, Mayor DePena, and DPW Director Jaime, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 309-24, the creation of a four-way stop at Alston Street with Dale Street, brought to us by Councilor Santiago, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 319-24, Saratoga Street one-way, brought to us by Councilor Luzon and the Portuguese Club, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 311-24, Royal Street, one-way, brought to us by Councilor Del Rosario, Mayor DePena, and Director Hyman, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 312-24, handicap parking at 25 Boyd Street, brought to us by Jean-Louis Michard, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 313-24, Halton Street, one-way, brought to us by Councilor Del Rosario, Mayor DePena, and Director Hyman, going to the Ordinance Committee. Item 214-24, Outreach Crusade for June 29th from 5 to 10 p.m. at Campion Park, brought to us by Samuel Akute Praise Tabernacle Worship Church, will be going to the Ordinance Committee. Councilor Levy.
Okay, item 315-24, according to what I heard, is to take it as an emergency.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
That's the next one.
Okay, thank you. Item 315 dash, hold on just one second. Are we gonna, is that enough time? June 19th, do we have a meeting?
Oh, yeah.
We won't.
We'll probably do that when there's emergency also, sorry.
Okay. Councilors, item 314-24, we won't have a full council meeting by June 29th of 2024. We're gonna have to take this as an emergency item. So, can I have a motion to, hold on a second. To suspend Rule 6
We're not going to committee.
to not go to committee and
Motion to suspend Rule 6.
Rule 6 for the convenience of the public. Yep. All right, motion has been made. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Councilor
Discussion.
LaPlante.
Yes, I know where we're going with this. We're gonna do this rule, and then we're gonna make a rule as an emergency, and then we're gonna approve it. Through you, are the applicants here?
Yes, we are.
They are here? Where are the applicants?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No, you're coming up. We're not there yet. Yeah, I'm just, I'm, just for the record, I'm not gonna be supporting any of the motions that are moving this up, only because we require people, we require applicants to show up to our committee, and sometimes we actually don't move things up until they show up, and I just think that, they should just not get it, and then try to find a different date, and go back and see if there's a date that works, and it's not the 29th.
Madam
I'm
Clerk,
voting
do
no.
you have any clarifying information?
So the applicant did go through Recreation and file all the proper paperwork on this item. The date is the 29th, so obviously, as the council vice president noted, that does not allow enough time to go to committee, that we don't know. I mean, technically, I guess you could do it the night of the budget, but it just seems like not feasible. On that item, I didn't, usually what happens is we talk to the people, like, I do have all the paperwork, everything is fine. I didn't ask them to come, I wasn't thinking that they needed to be here. I mean, I wasn't looking at the date. You know what I mean, I was preparing the agenda, I was looking at the date. With the next item, like we specifically talked, we knew there wasn't enough time. So that applicant isn't here. So I would hope that the body would consider it, but they are not here. We didn't invite them to be here.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
This is to
This is to suspend Rule 6.
Councilor Levy. Yes. Councilor LaPlante.
No.
Councilor Luzon. Yes. Councilor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Councilor Santiago.
Yes.
Councilor Marmol.
Yes.
Councilor Reyes.
Yes.
Council Vice President.
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent. That's 7 votes, so that's.
Motion carries. Now, can I have a motion to approve? Motion has been made by
Second.
Councilor Santiago, seconded by Councilor Luzon. Discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk,
Are
can you please?
you declaring this an emergency?
Oh, do we need?
It's not an emergency insofar as it's already on the agenda and properly posted, so we didn't need to declare it an emergency. We're just suspending the rule not to send it to committee.
But aren't we going to be acting on this tonight? Is it going to be effective this evening? Okay.
However the body wants to proceed is fine, but my understanding was when we declared an emergency to add it to the agenda versus not sending it to committee is just suspending your own rules. So as it was already properly posted on the agenda, I don't think it needs to be declared an emergency, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that that's.
Okay. Can I get a motion to declare this item as an emergency, just in case?
So move.
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilor Reyes.
Yes.
Councilor Marmol.
Yes.
Councilor Santiago. Yes. Councilor Del Rosario.
Yes.
Councilor Luzon.
Yes.
Councilor LaPlante.
No.
Councilor Levy.
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante.
Yes.
Councilor President is noted as absent.
Motion.
7.
Motion carries. At this point, I will entertain a motion. for this item?
Motion to approve?
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Santiago. Discussion? Councilor LaPlante. Oh. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Counselor Levy?
Yes.
Counselor LaPlante?
No.
Counselor Luzon?
Yes.
Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Fidelina Santiago?
Yes.
Counselor Mammal?
Yes.
Counselor Reyes?
Yes.
Counselor Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent.
Motion carries. Councilors, item 315-24, Bohemia Sunset, Thursdays through September on Union Square Park for Ateneo Dominicano de Nueva Inglaterra. The series starts this week, so we do need a vote to waive Rule 6 to not send to committee. Can I have a motion to waive our Rule 6? Motion has been made by Councilor Santiago, seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion. Councilor LaPlante.
Real quick, so do we have, just like the other one, do we have the background information? We do?
So on this, the full package is in everyone's package. They filed all their paperwork timely, and they are actually here present this evening as well.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Counselor Levy?
Yes.
Counselor LaPlante?
Yes.
Counselor Luzon?
Yes.
Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Santiago?
Yes.
Counselor Mammal?
Yes.
Counselor Reyes?
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Counselor Rodriguez noted as absent.
Motion carries.
Motion to declare as an emergency?
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario, seconded by Councilor Reyes. Discussion. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Counselor Reyes?
Yes.
Counselor Mammal?
Yes.
Counselor Santiago?
Yes.
Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Luzon?
Yes.
Counselor LaPlante?
Yes.
Counselor Levy?
Yes.
Council Vice President?
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent.
Motion carries. At this point, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve?
Motion has been made by Councilor Del Rosario,
Discussion.
seconded by Councilor Levy. Discussion. Councilor LaPlante.
Let me just take a point of, just to say what I think is a fantastic cultural event through you, Madam Chair, in our city, and I want to salute the organizers for all the great work that they've been doing for the past several years, and I am delighted that they're coming before the council for this, which I'm really supportive of, because this is the right way to do it. So thank you for doing things the right way. We appreciate it, and through you, Madam Chair, continue doing the great work that you're doing to foster cultural literacy and throughout our city, and having us have an appreciation for what you bring to the table. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Counselor Levy?
Yes.
Counselor LaPlante?
Yes.
Counselor Luzon?
Yes.
Counselor Del Rosario?
Yes.
Counselor Santiago?
Yes.
Counselor Mammal?
Yes.
Counselor Reyes?
Yes.
Council Vice President Infante?
Yes.
Council President is noted as absent.
Motion carries.
Thank you for the great job.
Councilor LaPlante, are you a Bohemian dancer? Are you a Bohemian? Are you going to be dancing?
Council, we will be seeing Councilor LaPlante dancing at this event. All right, councilors, reminder, before we get into committees. Thank you. Dates June 24th and 25th have been declared as a special meeting, I think, as a special meeting for the budget hearings, reminding everyone about that. At this point, I am going to look at the vice chair for the Budget and Finance Committee to schedule that meeting.
I'll do Thursday, the 27th, Madam Chair, at 6. No, let me do Budget and Finance 7, and then housing at 6.
Okay.
Or do you want it backwards?
I just know that the state representative has an event on the 27th.
Okay, so I'll switch it. Budget and Finance at 6 p.m. with housing at 7.
Okay. So housing at 7, Budget and Finance at 6 for the 27th. Ordinance Committee. I'll go back to you. Do you want to switch it now?
can't?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, guys. I misunderstood thinking that you said Monday, Tuesday were not available.
Tuesday at 7 is usually ordinance committee, just FYI.
You could do
Oh.
6.
We already have budget and finance, right?
You could even do 6 on Monday before the budget.
You can do 6, yeah, 6.
So budget
Oh.
and finance, 6 on Monday.
Budget and Finance 6 at 6 PM on the 24th. Housing. Oh, you won't even have to.
Tuesday at 6.
Anything else,
Wait, do you want to do Tuesday at 6?
No.
Or you can do Wednesday too.
Wednesday, I can't, and it's because of the Tower Hill Neighborhood Association, which I have
So
missed.
so Counselor Marmo, what I do, so last week I had a neighborhood meeting. And what I did was I asked the president to let me give my report early. And then I left for the budget, for the public safety meeting. So you can do both. It's just gonna be a lot, but you can.
If that's the case, then I'll do Wednesday, the 26th, but for 7 PM.
Okay, Wednesday, housing, Wednesday, the 26th at 7 PM. Ordinance,
Tuesday at 6.
Tuesday at 6. Personnel,
Monday at 7.
we have a meeting. We have the special, we have the budget meeting.
How about Tuesday? Can we do Tuesday at 7?
Ordinance.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair,
at 6 o'clock.
Madam Chair,
Madam Chair, 6.
could I make a recommendation?
Yes, Counselor.
So, we don't know if we'll be meeting on Tuesday. We may pass it on Monday. Why don't we have posted 2 meetings contingent, and if the meeting, if it's passed on Monday, then they can do something on Tuesday at 7.
Okay,
If
perfect.
not, then they go to Wednesday, or whatever the other day
Okay,
is.
so personnel Tuesday at 7,
Tuesday?
tentative. Tuesday, the 25th at 7. Okay, tentative, the budget, the budget vote. Any other committees that I'm missing? I think we have housing, budget and finance, all right. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been made, properly seconded by Councilor Reyes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Have a great night, councilors.
Good job.